Now, for the new manager of Bristol City, Gerard Struber, he obviously begins his first summer in charge. Now, obviously, we spoke about the appointment, and with foreign managers, Bristol City haven't had the best track record as of recent as well. So this is something that they have to get right. Obviously, Liam Manning took them to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years last season. And then suddenly he's now the Norwich City manager. So a lot to go on this summer in terms of Bristol City. Maybe Manning did leave because of the sort of lack of investment behind the ownership at Bristol City. So it's something that they have to get right in terms of moving forward and making them more sustainable in the second tier, and trying to really push on and get top six again. It's obviously, the fans have now got a taste for it. They're going to want to return there as well. There has been a few signings going in. There's been a few outgoings as well for Bristol. Obviously, Struber's first summer in charge as well. He wants to make sure the spine of the team is kept, the core of the team is kept, who did obviously manage to get Bristol all that way to the top six. But he also wants to improve on it as well. There'll be, likely mainly undisclosed fees. The focus will remain on balancing the budget and promoting from within, as Bristol City have done so well over the last 10 sort of decade really in the Championship. So our correspondent Dan, just let us know about where Bristol City are in this summer window, how they are planning to go ahead of it, and where Gerard Struber sits in terms of the decision making at Ashton Gate, because it's obviously going to be a big summer and they want to make sure they are still competitive in the Championship.
Well, Charles, firstly, Bristol City have given a good few new contracts out to some of their players. George Tanner, Cameron Pring and Rob Atkinson have all signed new deals at Ashton Gate that will keep them there for at least the next season. And then, of course, you've had Adam Randall come into the club as well, so bolstering their ranks in that regard. You've had the goalkeeper, Joe Lumley, now signing to the club as well. But I think their most important transfer of the summer so far has been Gerhard Struber, replacing Liam Manning as the head coach. I know this has been mentioned an awful lot, and certainly it will only be discovered whether it's a good transfer when things get going in August, but certainly the way things are being talked about right now at the club, they believe it to be a very good transfer. John Lansdowne, the chairman, could not speak highly enough of Gerhard Struber, saying he was the perfect fit for the club at Ashton Gate when he was announced as the head coach. So that probably is their biggest transfer of the summer that they're going to do, because of course without their head coach, then they'd be nowhere, obviously. They had to replace Liam Manning after it was clear that he was going off to Norwich City to take up their vacant position. Obviously, that was a big blow for Bristol City, losing Liam Manning, given the fact that he'd achieved the playoffs with the Robins just last season in the Championship. So a lot of people would have probably been forgiven for thinking, yes, he'll stay and try and build on that achievement and try and get Bristol City even higher up the table, at least be secure in the playoffs next season, if not higher up in the Championship. But no, he wanted to go to Norwich. Yes, he's left with good regard at Bristol City, and he's wished everyone well at the club. He had to be replaced, and Gerhard Struber is that man. And obviously the new contracts that have been given out as well, they signal intent that Bristol City wants to keep this core together that they've got currently, with the likes of Cameron Pring and George Tanner, and of course Rob Atkinson coming back from a loan spell as well. Apparently Gerhard Struber has made it clear that he wants him involved in the first team's activities next season, which will be positive news for Rob Atkinson. And then bringing in Joe Lumley, who has Premier League experience as well with Southampton. So you've got that experience there, playing at a higher level, and certainly Joe Lumley himself has talked about wanting to be in the Premier League with Bristol City, so that sets out their objectives right there. And then of course you've got Adam Randall coming in as well from Plymouth Argyle. So it's been a busy summer so far for Bristol City, but I can only imagine it getting more busy as well. Bristol City will not want to rest on their laurels. They want to keep developing their squad, keep strengthening the depth of their squad. They won't want to lose what they built last season. They'll want to build on that instead and look towards the playoffs once again, and if not higher, certainly it's a hive of activity at the moment at Ashton Gate, and one where supporters can look forward to perhaps what is coming next season if things go right then on the pitch.